Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got a...
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, passing may come at a cost. The Eagles are #1 in forcing interceptions, and they'll be up against a Redskins team that will need to avoid those turnovers.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
They'll run to Marshawn Lynch. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. This offense, here are the starters. It features a very speedy wide receiver, a Duke Blue Devil, Jamison Crowder.
Exactly right, and we're not talking about hoops. We're talking about a slot receiver who knows how to run all the routes so well and really is crafty beyond his years.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still third down.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Play action now. Cousins looking for Pryor long. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
I'd say that qualifies as a pretty darn good opening series. Get them into 3rd and long, get them out of their comfort zone, and guess what? Get your crowd into it early, too.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And it would be interesting to see pretty early in this one exactly where his head is, because the best quarterbacks shake off performances like he had last week. Way too many interceptions. Didn't throw a touchdown pass. Team lost the game. Let's see if he can bounce back and get things going in the right direction.
He'll be trying to forget those 3 picks, as you noted. Wentz now on 1st down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment.
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way down to the 29. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. And even 50 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time and allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Cousins now on 2nd down. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. First down, the run with Lynch. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The numbers for Marshawn a week ago. 17 carries, 58 yards.
And their success running the ball in the previous game has to give them a lot of confidence, but they also understand going against a top 5 rush defense means you have to have a lot of offense in your game plan. Misdirection, counters, power game, maybe even some quarterback run to take the heat off of the running back.
Again, they'll pound it with Lynch. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Cousins from the gun on third. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. And Forbath will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Jeffrey with a catch left side. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
One quarter down here on a frigid December night. It's the Eagles with the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Time running out here on the play clock. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The Lions move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you're facing intentional grounding call.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. Drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up and going all the way into the end zone.
Now it's Sturgis converted on the field goal. Now he'll send this one away on the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's good. Help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed.
Super toe.
That good for 19 and a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They run again on first down, Lynch. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
second down, Lynch. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, third and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They go play action. Cousins. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Timmy Jernigan in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. He's at the 30, 20, 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Wentz now on first down. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. He's got a man complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. He got 29 yards that time. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On first down, Wentz. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 6 there on first. Wentz to throw on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard near the 34-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. On 1st and 10, Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins now from the 50. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Second down, Cousins. He'll check this down to Lynch, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. Cousins now to throw on first down. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And Reed with it over the middle. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And Forbath will put this one through. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Eagles are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Redskins didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, Streeter is going to stay between the tackles, and he'd go in for the 44-yard touchdown. The Eagles take the early lead. 1st and 10, Jeffrey's able to get open here, and he ends up at their own 49-yard line.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Throwing on first is Wentz. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Here we go.
Running back. Finding some room at midfield. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. A 10th carry of the game for Marshawn Lynch. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 3rd down.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And out now come the Eagles. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Working from the gun, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 3 yards to go on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Quentin Coples in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Quentin Coples in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. They do go for it. It's Wentz. Aguilar has it. Give them 18 on that one. And it'll be first down, Eagles. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Wentz now to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's going to be run over. Hit hard as he'll be marked down. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Wentz now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Trey Burton, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A first down throw for Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On second down, Cousins again. Out to the left here to Reed. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. Give him 30 yards there. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind, with him running the team, that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Cousins on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Reed. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Cousins now over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time, and now it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, Cousins. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Timmy Jernigan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got a noon one. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. Give him 22 on that one. And that leads to a Washington first down. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The backup Rob Kelly, his first carry. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll go again with Kelly. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. They dump it off to Lynch. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and in throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Wentz now on first down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
40, 82, 40.
On second down, here's Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Well, when you've got a running back who's already gone over 100 yards for the game, you can bet he'll be involved on 4th and short. He's been tough for this defense to handle all game long, and he converts here to keep the drive moving.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter